Charlie and Grandad in Brexit. What's it all about? Part 5. So, who wins? The no-dealers or the remainers?
Well, Grandad, it's all over then. It looks like we leave without a deal on the 31st of October.
Well, Charlie, not quite. But look, I need a sip of claret before I try and explain.
Well, make it simple, Grandad. It does my head in when you go all round the houses.
I'll do my very best, Charlie. Now, the first thing you have to remember, Charlie, is that the law, as it stands, says that on the 31st of October, Halloween, the UK ceases to be a member of the EU club.
Well then, that's it, Grandad. The law is the law. Come Halloween, the door to the EU clubhouse is closed to us.
Well, that's right, Charlie, unless...
Unless what, Grandad?
Unless Parliament changes the law before Halloween.
Oh, can Parliament do that, Grandad?
Well, yes, Charlie, Parliament can change any law it wishes, But
what, Grandad?
On average, it takes Parliament a year, 12 months, to enact a law. So the Prime Minister thought that we would have crashed out before a new law could be passed. And there's another problem, Charlie. Our new Prime Minister decided to close down Parliament from the 9th of September. The posh name for doing that is prorogation. This means that MPs would only have a few days to get through a change to the law as it stands.
And did they manage that, Grandad?
Well, surprisingly enough, Charlie, they did. They actually got a change to the law, a new law passed in 7 days.
And what did the new law say, Grandad?
In a nutshell, Charlie, it outlawed a no-deal crash-out. The posh name for the new law is the European Union Withdrawal Act number 6.
So what happens now, Grandad?
Well, Charlie, the new law says that if the Prime Minister can't get an improved deal from the EU by the 19th of October, and if Parliament continues to give the thumbs down to no deal, then the Prime Minister has to ask the EU to delay the deadline once again, and this time for 3 months, to the 31st of January next year.
Oh, well, that's it, Grandad. Even the Prime Minister has to obey the law of the land.
But Charlie, the Prime Minister says he would rather, and I quote, be dead in a ditch than ask Brussels for another delay in Brexit.
But, Grandad, if he refuses to obey the law, he's in dead trouble, isn't he?
He certainly is, Charlie. He would be dragged in front of a judge and instructed to get a ticket to Brussels and ask for a delay in the Brexit date.
But suppose he still refuses to obey the law, Grandad?
Then he would be in contempt of court, Charlie. That's very serious. And he'd be thrown into jail.
Oh, has the Prime Minister a plan B, Grandad, to help him bypass the new law and still crash out on the 31st of October?
You bet he does, Charlie. If he could get Parliament to agree to a snap election on the 15th of October, he thinks he could win a majority, come back to Parliament and pass a law scrapping the one which outlawed a no-deal Brexit.
How likely is that, Grandad?
Well, he's got a problem, Charlie. He'd need a 2/3 majority of all the MPs to support this move.
And what are the odds of him doing that, Grandad?
Not good, Charlie. He has already tried it once and was overwhelmingly defeated.
Does he have a plan, say?
Well, he could try and get a completely new law passed, simply saying that a general election will take place on the 15th of October, a one-line loan. Well, that would work, wouldn't it, Grandad? Yeah, but he's got a problem with Plan C, Charlie. And that problem is that members of Parliament would be able to amend his proposal. They'd be able to add to his proposal. And? Well, MPs could, for example, attach a clause which allowed 16-year-olds to vote. Well, does that matter, Grandad? Sure it does, Charlie. All the evidence we get is that new young voters would be likely to vote for Labour, the Lib Dems or the Greens, which would make the Prime Minister's chances of winning an election pretty slim. Does he have a plan D, Grandad? He has, Charlie, but it's a pretty desperate one. He could pass a vote of no confidence in himself and his government. Oh, that's crazy. Why would he do that? Well, if he resigns as a result of a no confidence vote, he wouldn't need to get a vote approving a general election. It would automatically trigger a general election if he resigned, and he would hope to win that and return to Parliament with a no-deal mandate. But what, Grandad? You and your buts. Well, the big but, Charlie, is that he could lose the election. He will then be remembered as the shortest-serving Prime Minister ever, who split his party, failed to deliver Brexit, and handed the keys of number 10 to the Labour Party's Mr Corbyn. But, Grandad, what does that mean? Where are we now, then? Well, Charlie, we either get a deal before the 31st of October, or we crash out because the Prime Minister refuses to obey the law, or he gets taken to the courts and ends up in jail, or he obeys the law and goes to Brussels and asks for an extension. And so there you have it, Charlie. As to what happens next, who knows? But watch this space. And after all that, I need to crack open another bottle of claret. OK, Grandad, I've had enough of Brexit today. I'm going to chill out with a lovely ice cream. So, to everybody, thank you very much for watching our video. From Charlie, say goodbye, Charlie. Bye-bye, everybody. And bye-bye from me until the next time.